Okie pokey weirdos, I'm Rev, and yes, I have finally gotten to this wig styling video. I've filmed a whole bunch of angel dust content, and it's time to get down to it. How did I make this bedazzled angel dust wig? I started with 3 different wigs. 2 very, very long, cheap eBay wigs, and 1 Dante-esque wig as my base. The very long, cheap wigs I began cutting apart and removing the wefts from. And no, this is not any kind of official tutorial, because wigs are my least favorite part of building costumes. I much prefer to spend 3 hours at a sewing machine rather than taking 20 minutes to get a single spike on a wig to cooperate. This is much more me haphazardly putting a wig together in a couple of days so that I would have something semi-presentable for my videos. So, welcome to my world of cosplay shenaniganery. And I have to laugh because I just finished Hell of a Boss Season 2, Episode 8. With all the feels. And now I'm working on an angel dust wig. Because Vivzy Pop is forever, Vivzy Pop is life. Proof. That's my screensaver. Also my lock screen. I have mutilated that giant wig, and this is what we have. The very long wefts. The pretty dang short only for volume wefts. Yeah, my nail is ripping. And what is left of the wig, all that we have is that fake skin part. I might be chopping this and using it as well since we've got longer pieces here. We shall see. I shall watch Lady Rebecca make her costumes while sewing my wig. Let's get to it.
What pattern I used, and
I need a seam ripper. Derp? Seam ripper. Where did I leave my seam ripper? I cut them away with scissors first, still leaving the lacing section from the wig cap, and then seam rip those parts away later because I find it easier with my little hands to seam rip when there's a smaller section to deal with. I removed the elastic clip pieces from the base wig. I often save this elastic as well to use on other projects. Exhibit A, Angel Dust Chest Floof. Then I used a hair tie, bobby pins, or hair clips, whatever I had around, to pull back the wefts of the base wig and start sewing down the wefts that I cut away from the extra long eBay wigs. And now you can see how much volume those really short little pieces I'm going to be adding do add to the wig, because this layer is floofing up as compared to everything else that is laying flat. Also, when I tried this wig on yesterday with one of the cosplays I'm planning to wear for Angel, Sable suggested using this kind of wig for a Dante cosplay because without styling it, it looks almost perfect. So I will link this Amazon wig in the description below for y'all. I needed lots of layers for this wig because white wigs end up being really thin and I have dark hair. So getting a whole bunch of wefts prepped and ready to go was very helpful in thickening this wig. Why? There's a knot in it. Why do you torture me? Got it. While sewing on the wefts, I made sure to loop the thread around the weft that I am attaching and through the lace of the wig that I am attaching it to. So we have a good solid loop holding it on. I just keep grabbing white ones. Ah! Next, I needed to cut away the extra length from the eBay wigs being more of a Sashomaru length rather than an angel dust length. So I hair tied off the section that I wanted to cut away and trimmed it. I've got my angel dust wig way too long for him and a crimper because I'm going to use the extra length to test the crimper, considering I don't know if this is going to work because it's not a heat-resistant wig. Let's see. Grab a little chunk that's too long. Yum yum. As long as the wig head doesn't fall off. Yum. Yum. We got a little wobble in there. Okay. Try a different spot so we don't overdo it. Alright, cool. We just don't want to keep it on there too long. And melt the hell out of it. Yeah. Nice. And this is going to take me a while because I'm trying to be very, very careful with it and let it cool and come back to it. So I'll see you guys in a little bit. Yep, it worked. Before, after. So I have to be very, very careful and do this very slowly. But we can do. Alright, the crimper did help. However, tried and true method, back combing and teasing, because this wig is not super heat resistant and I don't want to push it too hard. And I'm allergic to most hair care products, so I'm using aloe vera to style it first, and then I'll go in with tacky glue. What is this? After getting all the bobby pins out, it is clear to me I need to add a few more wefts in the front. We've got too much open space and not enough fluffiness, which also means I need to pre-prep the wefts with the crimper and teasing before putting it in the wig so that those are not so drastically different from what I already have in here. That made a huge difference. There's plenty of fluff now. And that was just one layer. I don't need to add another layer. I just need to fix this one that broke during brushing. And this is where I'm stopping for tonight. We got all the little spikies glued up and ready to sit overnight. The sides are a little more uneven than what I was going for, so I gotta clean up this side because I did take a huge chunk out right there when I did not mean to. Oops. But that is going to dry overnight. We'll get to the rest of it in the morning. This is what we got the next morning. Some of the spikes are a little too harsh or not quite sitting where I want them to. I'm considering adding a weft in on this chunk that I chopped out and should not have, but the spikes also hide it quite nicely, so I'm going to go ahead and style it and finish up what I have before adding anything else and see if I like it. Also, the bobby pins left marks in the white hair. Not my favorite. On to more styling. I used that razor comb to help feather out a lot of bits, and I need to continue doing that. I really didn't feather it out enough. But the look that I was going for was a combination of emo vampire and soul eater, who I've also cosplayed a very long time ago. I trimmed with scissors at a almost vertical angle, ever so slightly angled diagonally to also help feather out the wig. And I have had 6 years of dog grooming experience, so I have some understanding of what I'm doing and where I'm going with this. It's a fact of I don't like to take very long on something like this. Time for a steamer. The steam is what really helps get the spikes to stay where they are. Moist heat is great for getting these synthetic fibers to cooperate. Onto the tacky glue. The tacky glue helps solidify the tips of the spikes, but that's all I'm using it for, is for the very edge of the spikes. I don't want the wig to be super solid and crusty because I want it to have a little bit of bounce and movement when I dance. So tacky glue is used very minimally, and I had it watered down with some warm water to bring it to a more manageable consistency. Then I drew on my wig with a light pink Sharpie, the same Sharpie I used to draw the heart on the chest floof, and put a little piece of paper underneath each spike to get a more solid color on the spike tips. Finally, I am moving on to bedazzling. This is the one portion of working on the wig that I wanted to take more time on because I was super excited about getting sparkle on this thing. I knew I was going to be wearing the wig for Pride, so I wanted it extra sparkly and glittery looking. However, I'm not a huge fan of glitter because it makes way too much of a mess for my liking. Therefore, crystals and beads hot glued into the wig. And there you have it, a white, slightly pink, very bedazzled angel dust wig. I do need to feather out the ends a little more, clean up the back a little, but I got it as done as I was happy with it for filming my angel dust content for Pride Month. If you enjoyed this video and or you really like costume content and want to join me on this crazy adventure chaosness that are my costume builds, please remember those subs, comms, thumbs, and a ding. I would be ever so grateful if you did, because it tells me and the algorithm that it is worth me continuing to put up videos. I have a Ko-fi and Patreon if you'd like to follow along with any builds ahead of time before I put them on YouTube. I do make commissions and I'm a video editor. You can check out Costume Creative Studios for all of my commissions, and any links for all of my other costume and video editing related services are listed in the description below. I greatly appreciate all you amazing weirdos interacting with the videos and my content. I send you all a great big electronic version of a hug, and welcome to the madness.